So basically, analyzing carbon in the soil and looking into specific carbon components. So the idea is you look and see the traces, the special chemicals that emits during the fire process. So you look
During?
when forest fire happens. So these chemicals, BPCA, these are the biochemical chemicals that are spread out into the soil. So based on that, you can trace, okay, the intensity of the soil, intensity of the fire was like this, and
Due to these chemicals.
yeah.
So where do these chemicals come from?
The burning material when the fire happens in the forest fire.
Yeah.
So, like for example, you say that the fire happened in a forest. So it burns the crown and the leaves and everything, and it somehow boils down and stays in the soil. So this fire intensity causes the chemical release.
To form different kinds of chemicals.
Yes. So when you see that, it acts as a marker, biomarker for fire. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So here we took the samples and we processed them, analyzed them, and we used the GC, gas chromatography machine, to look into the components, like which of these chemicals is high and which times they're emitting, and we look into the ratios. The ratios will tell the intensity of the fire happening. So yeah, that was basically the research work that I was doing.
This is to know the history.
The fire, so you can basically build the chronos sequence. Okay, this year the fires happen like this. So they also collect the fires from different years. So basically you can structure, okay, fires.
They can also predict.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's about your
Master thesis. Yeah.
And then after master thesis, then what happened?
So while I'm doing my master thesis, I got this opportunity to be as an intern.
Okay.
So I took a break, like a year, the gap year. So I applied for this and I went. So I took this opportunity because the internship is part of also the UN organization called IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, which is based in Vienna. So I felt it's a really good chance for me.
There you did your internship during your master's?
During my master's, because I took 1 year break.
Okay.
Yeah.
International Atomic Energy Agency.
Yes, yeah, it's based in Vienna. So I went there. It's one more interesting part of my academic process because this time it's entirely on food samples.
So what is the link between food samples and
I'll get to that. So they also use gas chromatographies to see the contamination in the food, the chemicals and pesticides used, and also my special machine that I would be working is IRMS. This is isotope ratio mass spectrometry.
To detect the traces of radioactive material.
Yeah, I mean we are majorly looking into stable isotopes. So, but we want to look into the origin. Like maybe like if you have a wine, you can really put the wine sample in it. If you can see, if you can look at the label when you purchase made in Italy or something. So you can really say from this machine IRMS if this wine is really coming from Italy or they're just mimicking it.
How come?
Because we look into the isotopes in this. So grapes or the wine produced in Italy has a separate, like specific isotope ratios of carbon, oxygen, whatever. And so they have the history or the database for this, and they will match the sample with the database of the wine produced in different regions of Italy. So based on this, you can say, oh, this is fake because the data is a fingerprint. Basically, it's not matching. So using IRMS is nothing but it's a forensic report for the things that you can't see. You can analyze it chemically and we can see the results. And you can also trace the origin, like I mentioned, where it's coming from.
Okay. Region-based.
Yeah.
Isotopic screening, for example.
Yeah.
Something like that. So what is the significance? So to know the contaminations in the food or just to know the history?
This is one part of the lab works. So as I mentioned, my work is mostly isotopes, like the stable isotopes. and knowing the origin of the food samples that I got. Back then, I was working on the samples from Costa Rica, the coffee samples. So, yeah,
Okay, so you learned that there.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
that was amazing. Okay, and then that is somehow linked to your current job.
yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, it linked. So after this, I came back to Germany to finish my final writing as part of my master thesis. So I started writing and then started looking into jobs already, and then the current job that I'm doing.